Hi guys, so welcome back. This will be my third video on recapping my trading journey on my funded account challenge. So this week hasn't going really well for me. As you can see, I'm in a pretty big drawdown. I am losing about $3,000. Pretty big money, isn't it? Yeah. I almost blew my account on Tuesday, which is crazy, right? I lost about 2,100. Yeah. I was trading with emotions, that's why. Didn't really want to talk much about it, because I'll try to talk you guys through it and what exactly happened. So didn't really have much plans going on for Tuesday. Wasn't really planning to trade, and what happened was, right, at 10:09, let's say, at this candle, red candle, when we see some demands forming over here, and I kind of like wasn't ready to lose more than 100 or more than 200. So although I wasn't ready to lose that much money, I didn't really scale down. So I was just trading with normal position size. And yeah, if you know, on this day it was pretty volatile, so the ATR was about 42, I think, and I know that I should have scaled down and give more room for the price to actually move, and kind of like, cut my risk and stuff, because it was pretty volatile. But I did not, because I kind of like wanted to make more money. And when I did put my stop loss a bit too tight, I kind of like got stopped out. That's exactly what happened. Getting stopped out, FOMO, and then I kind of like traded like some kind of crazy freak. So I went long, shorted, and just fucking everything up, like you can see here. So I was making some money over here, but then I lost it again. Making some money over here, lost it again. It's just crazy. And then I almost blew my account on that day. And the next day I decided to cut down my my risk. So there's PMI news coming over at 10 a.m, which put me in the bullish bias. But then when I entered in bullish, although I was making some money over here, and I kind of like scaled in because I got too excited, because I had a pretty strong losing streak over the past few days, especially just yesterday. I scaled in too fast and I got fucked, because I wasn't ready, and this position was bad, because let me just take you through the footprint candle, right? So what exactly happened was, although there's some rejections over here, some passive sellers, but pretty strong aggressive buyers, right? So when price did go higher, I kind of like got too excited and scaled in again once I see some correction, and I thought the passive buyers might defend or bounce the price even higher, but it did not happen. As you can see, there was no pretty strong although there was some strong passive buyers over here, but as you can see at the lower levels, just the next minute, those passive buyers kind of like disappeared, and they don't really have much continuation, except there are even more sellers dropping the price at a lower price. So I was like, fuck, and I got stopped out because I got too excited, FOMO. And after that, the price did jump higher, and when it did jump higher, I got excited again, FOMO, scaled in too fast again. Here, as you can see, I put like two contracts. It was like 1.25 each, and I got stopped out again because, when price wasn't moving against, like, when price does move against me, I kind of like got scared. And on the third trade, I got lucky on this one because the reason why I entered was just this, right? When most aggressive buyers were kind of like getting absorbed at these levels, plus passive sellers were pretty strong at this level. So I thought maybe to myself, maybe if price does continue to go higher, I might kind of like wait and see on how it would react. If it does go higher than this candle, I would completely cut my losses and just call it a day, right? But turns out once it goes lower at 10.17, there was some demands over here, but at 10.18, when price did retested these levels, they didn't have much continuation, and therefore they went lower. As they went lower, there's some passive buyers over here, but aggressive sellers again took control of the lower levels, and that's why price did go lower and lower. So I could have made more money because my original take profit was this level, this price level, and if I do have a pretty strong confluence or conviction, I would still hold it until here and probably put my stop loss over here. But again, it's never gonna be perfect. It's never gonna be always like 100%, and I was just happy to make money, to make a winning trade on that day, at least, you know what I mean? Because I've been losing quite a lot of money this past few weeks, although I came in red on Wednesday, but I did manage to at least make some back. So on Friday I did the same exact thing, but a little bit better, I can say, because I kind of like did my homework. I put in my work on market analysis during pre-market. As you can see, this US payroll, kind of like check the news and stuff like that, and just technical analysis, supply zone, demand zone, market was ranging. That was didn't really have much bias, and I mean, it's good to have bias on the day, but if you have a too strong, kind of like too engraved in your mindset, if you let's say you to be wanting to the price, oh, I have this bias and I should be right, and turns out the market went against you, and then you can't accept that you're wrong. And that's when everything goes wrong, right? So market opens, got rejected at the supply level as well, and I thought to myself, maybe the demand zone would go higher, right? Because it got supported over here, but when it does retested these levels, when it had a sell-off, right? Some strong demand over here, and when it did sell off, here. So as you can see at 10.03, right? There was some rejection over here, but there was some aggressive buyers coming in, and when it retested at 10.05, it had a pretty strong demand confluence, but I got scared, so I kind of like cut my losses, and after cutting my losses, the price went higher, and I got a bit of FOMO. So when I did got a bit of FOMO, I obviously scaled in again this time, and kind of like I didn't scale in this time, but yeah, I still entered. So when I entered, the price didn't have a strong continuation, because at 10.07, as you can see, there was 300 more buyers over here, right? And over here you can see there's some aggressive buyers, but at 10.08 it's a completely different story. What exactly happened here was when price tried to go higher, there was not much of a not much of selling activity going on here. There was some buying over here, but if you check at the lower levels, the previous sellers that was gone, that was not there at 10:07, went back in. And when it did go back in, the buyers kind of like, like the buyers, they lost. So they didn't put as much size like what they did during 10:07 candle. As you can see, there was like hundreds of buyers over here, right? But they didn't have that much size going on at these levels. So I thought to myself, oh, what's going on here, right? It's getting a bit suspicious, because if buyers want the price to go higher, they should at least drop back in at at the lows and like support it to go higher. But yeah, it did not happen. So you can tell from this footprint chart that they're not interested anymore. And once they're not interested, there's not much of a demand going on, so therefore the price will go lower. Plus, a lot of uncertainties were happening around the market. Unclear policies. Powell's speech going on will be held later today at 12, and then tariffs, just a lot of bad stuff. And I checked Bloomberg as well, and they said that the US Treasury yield was at all-time highs, and if they are at the highest, that means most investors are looking for a safe haven, and once they do move their assets to a safer like asset class, whatever the fuck, right, this specific tech stocks index would definitely go lower, because they cash in their positions, right? So when they do cash in their positions, a lot of selling activity will go on and will happen. So yeah, so I kind of like doubled down on that bet and tried to make a bit more money on that move. So yeah, at 10:09, there was some buyers step back in, kind of like scared me, but then I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just try and follow my rules. And so 2 trades going on here. So from that mistake, I kind of, and then at 10:10, as you can see, 10:10, more sellers drop back in to drive the price lower. And then, although there were some buyers that got invalidated at 10:11, as you can see, some continuation with the volume as well. So you might also have to pay attention with the volume and the delta, because if there's more market participants, then there's probably more interest over there. And yeah, I also trailed my stop loss just in case market found a pretty strong demand zone and kind of like cut me out with my profits. And once I got caught off with that, I would be trading emotionally. So from that lesson, I trailed my stop loss, and at least I would make some money, you know what I mean? And at 10:15, pretty strong volume over here. And when the price retraces back and retested the higher levels at 10:16, you can see volume start dropping over here with although there was some buyers delta, but the volume started dropping. So I thought it was like, oh, it's pretty weak retest, or like pretty weak retracement. And then at 10:17 went again, but I started seeing although at 10:17 saw pretty strong. So at 10:17 I took my first profit, I think. And then 10:18 there was some demands over here going on. So price when there was some demand forming, price started accumulating, and this is where you want to take some profits off, just in case the price do come reverse higher and start going against you, and you don't want that, because yeah, as you can see here, this is my trading activity. It's a pretty good trade, a solid trade, I'd say. Took my first ever take profit here, this candle, and then the second one was here, and the third one was here, because I've been seeing like demands forming at the lows, price started accumulating, kind of like getting scared, so I kind of like cashed in. Could have made a whole lot of money, right? As you can see, if I would have just held the trade until 12 or just before 12, before the news, you know, basic funded account challenge, you can't really hold the trade with the news. So yeah, but back to topic. I could have held my trade, because you know I could have made more money, and this was my original final take profit. And when I saw price accumulating over here, and then the green candle kind of like went really high, and I was like, fuck it, I'll just take it out and cash in. But yeah, I got scared, and yes, it's never gonna be perfect, it's never gonna be 100%, you're never gonna be able to catch the whole movement. And yeah, of course, like if you I could have made 2% today, like could have caught 2% of a move, and that's massive. With just this stop loss, that's a pretty big risk to reward. But things will never go as planned, guys. Come on, like you never know if price do really continue at this level, and you're just gonna be filled with regrets if you do keep on holding the trade. So that's why you just have to have an edge, and it's fine to take off some profits, it's fine to lose some potential profits, as long as you end up the day with green. And that would be the biggest lesson for today, and the main takeaway is just be true to yourself, accept that you're wrong, be okay with losing, because if you're not okay with losing, then just prepare yourself with a pretty big drawdown on your account. And the final takeaway would be just plan the day, and then yeah, accept your losses. And I think that's all. I hope I'll see you on the next trading recap videos, until I blow my account or whatever the fuck. But yeah, I hope I see you guys next week, and yeah, thank you.